Good evening, Sun Devil Nation. This is Tim Cassidy. I'm your Senior Associate AD for football. Coach Graham can't be with you this evening. He is one of our players is actually being baptized here right after practice, and so he'll be joining. That's a special event for this young man, and Coach wants to make sure he can be there. But a very spirited practice. Tomorrow we'll come back and we'll practice at the same time. We'll actually practice in the stadium underneath the lights starting at 7 o'clock. So hopefully if you have an opportunity to come out and see us in action tomorrow evening, it'd be great to have you there. We have two outstanding coaches with us tonight. We'll start with Chip Long. Chip is our tight end coach and also our recruiting coordinator. I'm just going to ask him to talk a little bit about the tight end play, and then we'll talk just a little bit about recruiting and what goes on this time of year in the recruiting efforts. Chip?
You know, our group, our tight end group, it's an interesting group. You know, it's kind of a mixture of guys who've played other positions and really hadn't played the position in a long time, and they're really a great group. They're really competitive, really trying to work hard and learn the fundamentals and details of the position and come a long ways in 8 practices. So, you know, we're very excited and can't wait to get Chris Coyle back out there playing. You know, he's one guy that played quite a bit last year, and, you know, he's looking great. The more he rehabs that shoulder, and it's an exciting group, and they're going to make a lot of things happen.
Well, talk to us a little bit. You know, one of the things that Coach Graham has done is he's given a lot of guys in our operation, particularly our assistant coaches, different responsibilities. And one of your other areas, other than coach the tight ends, is recruiting coordinator, and that's my old background. And but I just talk to me a little bit about what goes on this type of year when it comes to recruiting.
You know, recruiting is number one right now. Every day we take time to recruit. And it is a number one priority that with our practice, we want to try to get the best players in this area to every single practice. We believe the more we get them on campus, the more that helps us in that situation. So that's why, you know, we back this next scrimmage up to tomorrow night so we can have a game-like atmosphere, an exciting time. There's going to be a track meet, a baseball game going on at the same time. So it should be a great, great atmosphere, and we're trying to get as many kids up here to be around the program, to be around the coaches, and, you know, and we recruit every day. And we write, we Facebook, whatever we have to do, we're going to get out there and compete against the very best, and we're not going to bow down to anybody.
Well, one of the things that I've enjoyed watching you guys when I have opportunity is the fact that we do committed to it. And as a head coach, Coach Graham, I understands the importance of recruiting and the fact that we spend the time in evaluating prospects and the other parts of the evaluation process with our coaches are reaching out to high school counselors and the high school coaches, doing the background check, if you will, reference check. And I noticed that this morning I was talking to one of our assistant coaches, and we were just talking about how they use Facebook, which has really changed the recruiting process.
It really has. I mean, it has brought a new dynamic to us getting able to reach a kid on a daily basis. You know, usually during the day from about 4 to 7, that's when they're, you know, out of school. That's where you can get in touch with them and they can call you. Obviously, we can't call any kind of recruit right now, but they can call us, and that's just helped you get in touch with them. Also, we go through the high school coaches. We want to do the right things, and we want them to be involved as much as we can get them. And the one thing we've done a nice job of is we're trying to get every kind of coach in this area to come and visit with us. And, you know, I think we've done a good job reaching out. I think we're going to just keep improving with that. And, you know, like Tim said, the evaluation process, we go through a, you know, very extensive evaluation of each kid. We want to know everything about them, and because we want to bring the right kid here, the best and the brightest. And you know, and it starts with Coach Graham. Anytime you got a head coach, you can go on the road and sell like Coach Graham. I mean, it puts you out in front. And, you know, I can tell you right now, I've never been on a staff with as many good recruiters who work as hard as everybody. You know, some staffs, you might have 3 or 4, but every single coach on this staff is a relentless recruiter, and this is really exciting.
Well, the announcements today talking about the renovation and the new stadium, that'll really help, and that's something that we're going to work very hard to get out to our recruits as well. So it's not only the coaches, but you also have to have a great product, and we feel like we have an excellent product. One of the other things about what's getting ready to happen right now, and part of what Chip does as well is working with Bo Graham and some of the people in the recruiting department, is making preparation for spring football. And you guys are getting, you know, go out and watch spring football and do the evaluation process. So while you guys are balancing coaching and teaching in the recruiting, we're also planning to go out on April the 23rd, I think, is the date we'll actually go on the road starting looking at the 2013 recruits.
Without a question. I mean, you never can get ahead in recruiting. You're always working. and you're always planning, you know, months and months in advance. And, you know, the May evaluation period is huge. It's critical. You know, coaches will be gone, hitting the road, trying to hit 6, 7 schools a day, getting up bright and early, and getting to try to hit as many schools as you can before 8, and then going all afternoon, hitting practices. So, I mean, you're running by the seat of your pants, and but, you know, it's a day-to-day deal. And one great thing about here that Coach Cassidy does is he sets a timeline where we have enough recruiting where we can get our business taken care of, and we can still do a great job coaching and teaching these players, because, you know, next year we're going to have to line up and play and win some games.
Well, I think we've got some excellent coaches. There's no question about it. They're excellent men, but they're also excellent recruiters, and you have a great product. And I think that's what we want to be able to do this fall, is put a great product on the field as well, and we're on the way. Next is Joe Lorig. Joe is our special teams coordinator, is also a linebacker coach, and he also is in a position where he's coordinating something outside of just coaching his position. And if you talk to football coaches, there's not just offense, defense, there's special teams, which makes up a third of the game. And this is something that we spend every day. It's not something we wait till the fall. So, Joe, if you just talk a little bit about the preparation that goes into going onto the field each day in spring football and what we try to get accomplished, and how much time do we spend in a practice in preparation for that?
Well, number one, the nice thing here is that Coach Graham is committed to special teams. You know, a lot of head coaches will say that they are, but the number one way to show that they are is their time commitment. That would be the first thing. And secondly, are they willing to play our best players on special teams? And that's something that Coach Graham's made very clear. We've been trying to get that vision across to the players. Really on a daily basis, what we do, I do a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff and preparation stuff, which is, you know, getting in here early and making cut-ups and those kind of things. But we have a staff meeting every day at 10:45 where we talk about what we're going to insert that day and talk through, make sure that all the coaches are on the same page. That usually lasts, you know, 30 to 45 minutes. Then we have a meeting with special teams before position meetings, which usually is about 15 minutes, and that's where we're going to go through what we're going to implement that day, what practice organization is going to look like. You know, one of the big elements here is making sure that we're efficient at practice. As you can see on offense and defense, we want the exact same thing on special teams. So we're very clear in our meeting, making sure that there's carryover from that meeting room to the practice field so that we're very organized and can maximize our time. And then once we're on the field, we're about 30 minutes a day minimum with special teams, including our PAT field goal and field goal block stuff. And then Coach Graham himself goes out pre-practice with the long snappers, punters, and holders, which is a nice element. It's nice that the head coach is involved in all aspects. I think it gives some teeth to special teams, and it allows him to interact with some different players from offense, defense, and also those specialists.
That's great. What can you say about our specialists at this point?
You know, I'm excited about them. You know, we had a little bit of a question mark at the long snapper position. We have a true freshman there that got here at semester named Easton Wallstrom. He's doing a really, really good job. I've seen tremendous progress in him. Really, really excited to learn, you know, excited to be here. Josh Hubner, our punter, is back. He's a very, very talented punter. And at the same time, I think that we found some little things with him that we can tweak to make him even better than he is. And then Alex Garut has done a really, really good job with our field goals and our kickoff stuff. He's another returning starting kickoff guy. So we had a little bit of experience there, but we found some little things that we can tweak with those guys to make them even better than they have been in the past.
What about your position on defense of the linebackers?
I'll tell you what, I'm really, really fired up about my position. I coach outside linebackers, 2 positions, one we call the Spur and another one we call the Devil. We didn't have a lot of experience at that position, but a very, very talented group, very hungry group. I've seen them make tremendous strides, not just on the field, but in the classroom, which I'm personally really excited about because I know Gene Boyd and his staff work very hard on that, and I try to take a very active role in that myself. But, you know, Anthony Jones at the Spur position and Matt Tucker are kind of in a battle day to day, seeing tremendous, tremendous strides from both of them, very explosive players, very fast, athletic type of players. And then at the Devil position, which is kind of a hybrid defensive end for us, we have Carl Bradford, another tremendous talent. He played some last year. I think he had 6 sacks last year. Has a great motor, really, really plays hard, very hungry to learn all the time. And then Greg Smith has really made a big push this last week. So I'm very, very excited about that group. You know, the question Coach Graham is asking us every day is, can we win the Pac-12 with this group? And I'm not quite ready to say that yet, but I tell you what, we're getting a lot closer every day.
Well, just to kind of finish up for the day, we have a couple things coming up. Of course, we've got another practice tomorrow night under the lights, so hope that you have a chance to come out and see us play. April 14th, we'll be back in the stadium for another scrimmage, and then, of course, on April the 21st is our spring game, which is really, really important. I think it falls into Chip's area, actually Joe's as well, is the fact that we will have a lot of our recruits being at both of those scrimmages, and we really want our fans to show up, and it'll be a great opportunity. You know, people always talk about how can I help in recruiting? Well, come to the games and come to these scrimmages and just be supportive of your team. And I think you'll be very, very proud of what we have. And I think we're going to have an exciting season. As Coach Graham said to our team today, he wrote on his note cards, he called them up, he says, wow, I think we're finally getting it. And so we're about that halfway point in spring football, and we feel like we're making progress. We hope we have a chance to see you out there at one of our scrimmages coming up. Thank you, and go Sun Devils.
Go Sun Devils.
Go Sun Devil, baby.